7 years is a long time. Long enough to build a whole new, quieter life. Tonight the scoundrels return to Half Arch for the first time since that day.
Over here!
It's Governor Sanko.
Quickly, we may be watched.
A figure darts from the shadows and stabs the governor. This is very bad. You must find out why the governor summoned you. The governor is barely conscious and gravely wounded. Your scoundrel tends to him as best they can. A city watch patrol. This is not good timing. More city watch. They must have heard something while on guard duty on the West Dock. That's not good either. And then there's the governor's mysterious assailant. They're getting away. 3 problems. And only 2 of you left. Make a choice, quick! Your scoundrel will have to be fast to chase down the assassin before they get away. Perhaps your scoundrel can talk the officers into heading back to their post before they spot the governor's body. Your scoundrel acts drunk and begins a long, boring story about tripping over crates. The guards make excuses and leave quickly. Your scoundrel watches them go, noticing they are guarding a ship on the West Docks. Your scoundrel darts forward and grabs the assassin's robe. Suddenly there's a bolt of lightning, and the assassin vanishes. Whoever it was, they have magic. The governor coughs awake.
I thought if you were going to kill me, Hammer, you'd do it with your own hands. Oh yes, I know. About your past. About all of you. And soon everyone else will too.
And he takes his last ragged breaths. A quick search of the governor turns up a map of the islands with several locations marked, each one horribly familiar to one of the scoundrels. No time to wonder what the governor's words or map mean. The City Watch have seen the scoundrels with his dead body. You'll have to fight them off. You fought off the watch, but it's only a matter of time before more come to investigate the commotion. You need to get out of Half Arch, and that means you need a ship. At the east docks is the governor's ship, the Sunfish. He doesn't need it anymore, but there are plenty across the Crown who'll recognise it, for good or ill. The scoundrels don't recognise the ship at the west docks. The guard probably means captured pirate or smuggler. Maybe good for laying low, but who knows who owns it. Whichever one you're going to take, now's the time to choose. The privateer militia, the Crown's navy of authorised pirates, has impounded what looks like a smuggling ship and captured one of its crew. It's called the Sawtooth. The scoundrels haven't heard of it. Hopefully no one else has either. Hey, you're not drunk. What's your business here? You're not going to take this ship without a fight. The chained smuggler is trying to get your attention. Maybe she can help you. You want this ship? So do I. Let me free and I'll sail it for you. She seems genuine, and you could pick that lock. Your scoundrel begins picking the padlock. It's tricky, but they're sure they can do it. The smuggler's chains drop to the ground. Thanks, friend. I'm Anguilla. But let's save the introductions for after I get my ship back, eh? Sawtooth is free. Now, what do you want with my ship? The scoundrels explain they've been framed for a murder they didn't commit, and they need a ship to escape and catch the real killers. On the run, trying to prove your innocence. Never heard that one before and believed it. But, all right, you've got yourselves a first mate. Now, say the word and we'll set sail. Finally, let's get my Sawtooth underway. Now, let's be clear. When this is all over, I'll be wanting my ship back. Once clear of the docks, the scoundrels examine the map they found on the Governor. The marked locations are places from each scoundrel's past, a past they had hoped to leave behind. Let me see that. Anguilla snatches the map. I knew it. This is an old sailor's code on the back. I can figure out what it says, given a day or two. As you sail the Crown Islands, your choices won't just affect you. The consequences of your actions will be reported in the Crown Herald. The scoundrels have been set up, and killing those guards won't have helped their case. You're going to have to find out who framed you to clear your name. Who was the masked assassin? And who knew the scoundrel's secrets and told the Governor? Your scoundrels will need all the help they can get. Go on, pick an upgrade. While the code is deciphered, you have another clue to investigate. The Governor's map. Revisiting those places will be hard for the scoundrels, but it's your only lead. Nuna knows the way through the reef. There's a power in Bastoya that could help, she says. The ship proceeds slowly, following Nuna's instructions to pass through the treacherous Black Reef. There's an eerie silence aboard. I knew you wasn't really from Jaw's side, and I figure Nuna ain't your real name either. Makes sense though. Only village on the Crown where you can see the Temple of Bastoya on a clear day. Looking from afar, but never going back. I'm sure you got your reasons. The Hammer's only question betrays her fear of Nuna's power. Do they all have sorcery on Bastoya? She's relieved that the answer is no, but wonders aloud what makes Nuna so special. Nuna replies that it was simple. She didn't die in the trials. Thomas starts a barrage of excited questions. How are Nuna's powers linked to Bastoya? Where do they truly come from? How were they bestowed? She cuts him off with a glare. She's not a specimen to be studied, and there must never be another like her. As the ship clears the reef An uneasy feeling settles on the crew. There's a reason outsiders don't come here, and that Nuna never tried to return. Nuna guided you to a hidden landing spot with a disused path which has brought the scoundrels to this courtyard undetected. But you're not the only ones sneaking around. That was one of the assassins who killed the governor, but they're gone now. Best to focus on the task in hand. Nuna needs a shadow stone for her scrying ritual, and they're all inside the temple. But these Bastoyans won't be pleased to see her. You better figure out a way to get inside. Why waste time skulking around? Nuna was feared here. A show of strength should make the guards stand aside and let her walk straight in to use the shadow stone in the throne room. These statues of Nuna could provide cover for the scoundrels to seek to the eastern steps without being seen, if they have the finesse to time it right. This is Sekvan, a loyal acolyte of Nuna's old cult. He'll definitely let Nuna go up to the temple roof to use a shadow stone, but can she convince him to stay calm about her return? The scoundrels swagger up as though Nuna still owns the place, but they're not menacing enough. The guards recognize Nuna, and one draws a weapon. The Anointed One. We must kill her. No, you fool. She has friends. We need help. Come on. At least they've gone. Better find those shadow stones quickly before they bring back reinforcements. The main doors swing open, and the scoundrels pass through an antechamber into the throne room, home to one of the 3 shadow stones. The Anointed One's throne room. Bastoyans would come here to beg for her aid, or to answer for breaking the cult's law. Her subjects obeyed her out of fear. I should be so lucky. Just a little joke. It sounds horrible. Everything looks much as Nuna remembers it, though she's more used to the view from the throne, not of it. The dark, geomantic energies of the temple are focused into shadow stones like this. If she concentrates, Nuna can use its power to see what is hidden, just as the thing outside does with its many eyes. Nuna places a hand on the shadow stone, summons its power, shaping it for the ritual. This seems bad, but Nuna assures the scoundrels this is meant to happen. The throne room's shadow stone was used to supplement her power when necessary. This, on the other hand, is definitely bad. Somehow, the throne is redirecting the stone's energy. The assassins must be behind this. That statue is now infused with the dark energies of the realm outside, and Nuna can feel another surge coming. Just when you think things can't get any worse. The first Bastoyan is Aldos, leader of the rebels who deposed the Anointed One, chasing Nuna from the island. Oh, they recognize her instantly. You have a brief moment to act before all hell breaks loose. Use it wisely. tide's energy is animating the statue. If a scoundrel can push hard enough, they might be able to topple it, smashing it before it can come alive. That was a mighty shove. The statue smashes into the temple floor. Aldos looks grim. He heard the Anointed One had returned. It won't be easy, but maybe one of the scoundrels can convince them you're here to help. The scoundrel tells the truth about the assassin's sabotage, and Aldos's expression reveals this makes sense of something he's seen. Very well. We'll gather at the temple entrance. But this isn't over yet. Aldos orders the other Bastoyans out, keeping an eye on the monsters near the throne. I believe you, Anointed One, but I'd be a fool to trust you. It's clear the alliance is temporary. Aldos hasn't forgotten Nuna's decades of cruelty. A chill fills the room as the Shadowstone weakens the barrier to the realm outside. Shadow things hungrily push their way through. As the Shadowstone's dark power fades, Nuna completes the ritual and receives a vision. But she's seen too much. The images were so vast, so quick. She'll need to find another Shadowstone and use its power to bring what she saw into focus. But your enemies won't let you leave without a fight. Since you convinced the Bastoyans to leave, no one saw your heroics. They still might not trust you. No good deed goes unpunished, as they say. The western stairs lead up to the blasphemous sky portal at the temple's summit. The eastern ones descend into the underground anointing chamber. Both contain a Shadowstone. As the scoundrels ascend, Nuna admits she only visited the sky portal once, long ago. She doesn't know what you'll find up there. The sky portal is a door into the realm outside. Home of the cult's shapeless, many-eyed god. It was opened once, when Nuna survived the ritual. Sacred lore forbids it opening again until the thing outside is ready to devour the world. But someone, perhaps the assassins who sabotaged the throne room, has been here before you. The portal shouldn't be open like this. Already shadow creatures from the realm outside are exploiting the tear in reality. More will come through unless the portal is sealed by deactivating the soul siphons. The Shadow Stone, meanwhile, is right there to be used for Nuna's scrying ritual. With this Shadow Stone, Nuna can control her vision, and so focus on and remember the important details. From above are like locusts, extensions of the thing outside's many mouths. If their numbers grow. Supply energy to the sky portal. They can only be controlled through a sacrifice of life energy. It's theoretically safe, if you can understand how it works. The scoundrel supplies just enough life force to the siphon and commands it to turn off. It felt like being hollowed out. And there another one. The sky portal will only close if both soul siphons are deactivated. Try not to sacrifice too much of a scoundrel's soul to do it. The siphon reaches deep within your scoundrel's soul, but the pain is too much to control it. You'll have to try again. The sky portal will only close if both soul siphons are deactivated. Try not to sacrifice too much of a scoundrel's soul to do it. The siphon reaches deep within your scoundrel's soul, but the pain is too much to control it. You'll have to try again. Will only close if both soul siphons are deactivated. Try not to sacrifice too much of a scoundrel's soul to do it. As the feeling of icy fingers plunging into their heart subsides, the scoundrel manages to command the soul siphon, and it deactivates, closing the sky portal again. Creatures gone and the sky portal closed, Nuna is free to perform her ritual. Nuna completes the ritual, and the glimpses she had before come sharply into focus. The other scoundrels hear her gasp in revelation. She waves away their questions. She needs time for the images to settle in her mind. It's time to go. As for Sekvan, well, he's not helping you now. But you can escape the old man easily if you don't want to fight him. Nuna's ritual has granted her a vision, but it'll be safest to get off this island before she shares that information. Time to leave the temple. Outside the temple, all is not well on the island of Bastoya. The energies stirred up by Nuna's use of the shadow stones have allowed shadow things to swarm in the courtyard. The tampering in the throne room has directed dark energies into the courtyard statues as well. It's Sekvan, Nuna's once loyal servant.
Anointed One, you have returned, and what glorious chaos you have brought us.
He's reveling in the destruction, but the shadow creatures seem to be avoiding him. Perhaps he can help you? Aldos, true to his word, has arrived in the courtyard with a group of armed Bastoyans ready to fight off the creatures. And perhaps you. Word has got out that the Anointed One has returned, and the Bastoyans did not like what they heard. They're ready to fight her again. There's currently no safe path off the island. You'll have to destroy the shadow things, or find another way to exit. shadow things are gonna keep coming, no matter how many you destroy. You'll need to enlist some help to clear a path back to the ship. Shadow things are gonna keep coming, no matter how many you destroy. You'll need to enlist some help to clear a path back to the ship. The Bastoyans hesitate before steeling themselves and fighting on. You realize this small force is their last best hope. All that stands between the island and destruction. If you can think of the right thing to say, perhaps Sekvan will use his affinity with these creatures to help you escape. Your scoundrel tells Sekvan you must flee. He becomes incensed.
Leave Bastoya? Just as our great work begins? No.
Aldous sees you speaking with Sekvan.
Bastoyans, the Anointed One and her minions collude with her old lackey. She means to re-establish her rule. Destroy her.
Spins a lie about a test of faith.
Of course. The time is not right yet.
Your scoundrel merely hasn't convinced. Your scoundrel tells Sekvan Bastoya is being destroyed so Nuna can build a new temple. And he buys it.
Yes, you must escape.
The way is clear, but Sekvan refuses to come with you.
My place is here, Anointed One. Go.
The Bastoyans can't afford to chase you while there are still shadow things to fight. You've escaped, but the Bastoyans have been reminded of Nuna's evil. You have other concerns right now. You've done all you can for the cursed island of Bastoya. Hopefully, it was good enough for its inhabitants to survive. Now that there's time, Nuna explains what she saw in her vision of what's to come. An ancient, evil monster awakened and threatening the crown. As they sail on, the captain signals for one of the scoundrels to come over. they sail on, the captain signals for one of the scoundrels to come over. I know you ain't telling me everything, but I won't pry. I deciphered the note, and they're telling the governor to throw you lot in jail. But Governor Sanko met with them instead. Was that why he was assassinated and the scoundrels framed, so they'd still end up in prison? While you ruminate on what this means, pick a new ability for your scoundrels. The new clues just opened up more questions. If they're to find out who's behind all this, the best leads are still the locations on the map sent to the governor. Thomas hasn't returned home in years. His manservant Wandsworth may know something. As night falls and the ship nears the Emerald, the crew fire a barrage of questions at Thomas. He holds up his hands for silence. He'll address each of them in his own time. My old crewmate Rosa used to sail with Captain Harrow round here. Rosa Devil Hand, we called her, because her right hand was all weird. Story was that she got bitten off by a giant bug on the Emerald, and then someone helped her grow it back. Thomas asks about how Rosa's hand is now. Dead, like the rest of her, I hope. The Hammer wants to know if Thomas made any weapons here on the Emerald. He deflects by saying that there's nothing in this inventory that she would want. She gives him a cold look that says she knows how to break weapons she wouldn't use. Nuna senses something in these waters, something powerful. Thomas asks if it's magical and she's not sure. But then no one's sure if alchemy is magical either. The two briefly debate whether his concoctions are part of the natural order, but when he asks how natural her powers are, she ends the conversation abruptly. As the Emerald draws near, Thomas waves aside any further questions. He has more preparations to make before revisiting his one-time home. Thomas guides the ship into a water channel he knows well, despite the years since his last visit. Even in the darkness, the scoundrels can tell he's unsettled. Emerald Post, an out-of-place grand mansion built to resemble Thomas's family home. He is concerned the torches outside are dark. Before he can explain why that's a problem, a huge flaming insect flies into the clearing. As it flies towards the mansion, Thomas cries out. There are unstable chemicals in his lab. A normal flame won't set them off, but the fireflies burn hot. He calls out for Wandsworth, his loyal and trusted manservant, but there's no reply. Thomas explains his alchemical torches keep the insects away when they're lit. Normally, Wandsworth makes sure they're always burning. If you're going to find out what's happened, the scoundrels must light the torches and stop the flaming fireflies from entering the mansion. Firefly coming in from the west, it's transfixed by the blaze and flying towards the mansion. If it gets in there, the mansion will explode. Buzzing in from the east is a flaming firefly with eyes only for the mansion. If you don't stop it, the mansion will explode in a blaze. More insects emerge from the swamp to the northwest. More insects emerge from the swamp to the west. Another flaming firefly appears from the west, heading for the mansion. You better stop it. More insects emerge from the swamp to the northwest. flaming firefly appears from the east, heading for the mansion. Stop it! These alchemical torches require a complex procedure to light. Fortunately, there are instructions on the shell, assuming your scoundrel understands it. Your scoundrel has prepared the base chemicals. Now they need to prime the ignition mixture. They've done it! The torch's distinctive smell is already having a dramatic effect. Now to light the other three. Flaming firefly exploded safely away from the house. And yes, I realise that's an odd definition of the word safely, but the mansion is still standing. Mostly. Oh, another flaming firefly appears from the west heading for the mansion. You better stop it. Your scoundrel needs to follow the procedure to light the torch. Your scoundrel has begun the lighting procedure. Keep going to complete it. Yes! That's half the torch is lit! These insects seem to have noticed what the scoundrels are up to, and they don't seem pleased. Never find out what happened to Wandsworth. And you don't want to have to tell everyone you were killed by overgrown mosquitoes in a swamp, do you? Better try that again. Firefly coming in from the west, it's transfixed by the blaze and flying towards the mansion. If it gets in there, the mansion will explode. More insects emerge from the swamp to the northwest. chemical torches require a complex procedure to light. Fortunately, there are instructions on the shell, assuming your scoundrel understands it. Your scoundrel has prepared the base chemicals. Now they need to prime the ignition mixture. They've done it! The torch's distinctive smell is already having a dramatic effect. Now to light the other three. Buzzing in from the east is a flaming firefly with eyes only for the mansion. If you don't stop it, the mansion will explode in a blaze. Another flaming firefly appears from the west, heading for the mansion. You better stop it. Insects emerge from the swamp to the west. Another flaming firefly appears from the east, heading for the mansion. Stop it! firefly exploded safely away from the house. And yes, I realise that's an odd definition of the word safely, but the mansion is still standing. Mostly. Another flaming firefly appears from the west, heading for the mansion. You better stop it. More insects emerge from the swamp to the northeast. The flaming firefly enters the mansion. Oh, amazingly, the mansion is still standing, but it won't withstand another blast like that. Don't let another firefly get in there. Emerge from the swamp to the southeast. Another flaming firefly stopped from blowing up the mansion. Good work. Insects emerge from the swamp to the east. Oh, another flaming firefly appears from the west, heading for the mansion. You better stop it. Another flaming firefly stopped from blowing up the mansion. Good work. Insects emerge from the swamp to the northeast. More insects emerge from the swamp to the west. Another flaming firefly appears from the east, heading for the mansion. Stop it! Firefly stopped from blowing up the mansion. Good work. Another flaming firefly appears from the west, heading for the mansion. You better stop it. Your scoundrel needs to follow the procedure to light the torch. Insects emerge from the swamp to the west. More insects emerge from the swamp to the northeast. emerge from the swamp to the southeast. More insects emerge from the swamp to the southeast. Another flaming firefly stopped from blowing up the mansion. Good work. Oh, another flaming firefly appears from the west heading for the mansion. You better stop it. Firefly stopped from blowing up the mansion. Good work. Another flaming firefly stopped from blowing up the mansion. Good work. Another flaming firefly appears from the west heading for the mansion. You better stop it. Insects emerge from the swamp to the west. Another flaming firefly appears from the east, heading for the mansion. Stop it! insects emerge from the swamp to the northeast. Flaming firefly stopped from blowing up the mansion. Good work. Your scoundrel has begun the lighting procedure. Keep going to complete it. Insects emerge from the swamp to the southeast. Oh, another flaming firefly appears from the west heading for the mansion. You better stop it. The torch is lit. These insects seem to have noticed what the scoundrels are up to, and they don't seem pleased. More insects emerge from the swamp to the southeast. Insects emerge from the swamp to the northeast. the second flaming firefly is entering the mansion. Well, so much for the Emerald Post. Well, so much for the Emerald Post. You'll have to work out what to do later. The blast attracted more insects and they're very aggressive. You have to light those torches. More of the insects angrily emerge away from the torches. Better get them lit quick. More insects emerge from the swamp to the southeast. More insects emerge from the swamp to the southeast. Never find out what happened to Wandsworth. And you don't want to have to tell everyone you were killed by overgrown mosquitoes in a swamp, do you? Better try that again. Firefly coming in from the west, it's transfixed by the blaze and flying towards the mansion. If it gets in there, the mansion will explode. These alchemical torches require a complex procedure to light. Fortunately, there are instructions on the shell, assuming your scoundrel understands it. Your scoundrel has prepared the base chemicals. Now they need to prime the ignition mixture. They've done it! The torch's distinctive smell is already having a dramatic effect. Now to light the other three. Buzzing in from the east is a flaming firefly with eyes only for the mansion. If you don't stop it, the mansion will explode in a blaze. Your scoundrel needs to follow the procedure to light the torch. More insects emerge from the swamp to the northwest. Another flaming firefly appears from the west, heading for the mansion. You better stop it. Your scoundrel has begun the lighting procedure. Keep going to complete it. Yes, that's half the torches lit. These insects seem to have noticed what the scoundrels are up to, and they don't seem pleased. Another flaming firefly appears from the east, heading for the mansion. Stop it! Your scoundrel needs to follow the procedure to light the torch. Your scoundrel has begun the lighting procedure. Keep going to complete it. Nearly there. Just one more torch left to light. The flaming firefly enters the mansion. Oh, amazingly, the mansion is still standing, but it won't withstand another blast like that. Don't let another firefly get in there. Your scoundrel needs to follow the procedure to light the torch. Your scoundrel has begun the lighting procedure. Keep going to complete it. The torch is nearly ready. Keep going. More insects emerge from the swamp to the east. The torch is lit! That's all of them! The swamp fills with the smell of Thomas's alchemical repellent. It's a bit unpleasant for the scoundrels, but clearly much worse for the insects. Time to put out the fire and search what's left of the mansion. Which is, thankfully, quite a lot. Thomas heads inside, beating out the flames and calling for Wandsworth. There's no answer. But eventually he emerges holding some items that might shed a bit of light on Wandsworth's fate. This charred note includes a sketch of a familiar figure. The assassins were here. But it's drawn next to a hastily written list of supplies. Wandsworth is, or was, alive and fled the island. There's also a piece of brilliant blue coral near the note. Thomas explains that he was studying it, believing it to have some special properties. It's supposed to be in a protective case. Why would Wandsworth remove it? Wandsworth couldn't have gotten far. In fact, there's only one place. You'll have a chance to catch him if you move quickly. Rasp, an old military outpost now home to the pirate Sebastian Harrow, one of Thomas's best customers back in the day. Wandsworth would have sought protection if anything happened here. Thomas directs the captain towards Fort Rasp, having been there before. But last time was more than 7 years ago, and in the company of pirates who made the abandoned naval outpost their home. It's too quiet. Even pirates sleeping between raids have lookouts, and we've seen no one. I'll keep the ship ready for a quick getaway. Watch your backs, you three. It seems your captain's instincts were right. The only pirates here are dead. Thomas examines a body, but there's no obvious cause of death. All he can say for certain is it happened recently.
Ahoy!
That shout came from the tower at the far end. As the scoundrels approach, Thomas recognizes the figure. It's Sebastian Harrow himself, though he's looking a bit worse for wear.
Who goes there? State your business.
Harrow seems pretty shaken. It's best if Thomas tries to talk him down.
Turlinga? The apothecary? You're here for Wandsworth, aren't you? I don't care if you're the Kraken yourself. I be staying up here where it's safe.
Bright blue shards of something bursting through the stone of the fort.
Me leg! No, I can walk. You got a ship. Oh, we can talk about your man once we're on it. We have to move.
Before the group can get too far, the ground shakes and the dead pirates rise.
We're gonna be fighting our way out.
Harrow is right. The only way out is through those things. Pick your path wisely. Emerge from the coral. That explains where the rest of Harrow's crew went. Near the tower. And your man Wandsworth. 'Twere he who brought these things here. I'm sure of it. Then some bastards came, destroyed me, and took him away. Good riddance. They can't take you if you're proper dead. Grant, Captain's final request. Don't let 'em take me. Thomas nods, and with clinical precision, he grants the pirate's wish. More monsters emerge near the tower. The coral here is tough, but also brittle. Hit it hard enough and your scoundrel can break through. Your scoundrel smashed it! They're one step closer to the exit. These pirates are infected by the coral too. Be able to beat them all. Other scoundrels to help. The coral may be big, but it cracks just like the others. Quick, break it down before you're overwhelmed by the infected. in the nick of time. Thomas notices the coral isn't growing on the wooden wharf. He starts to come up with a theory, but there isn't time. The others push him onwards. You took your bloody time. Come on then, what are you waiting for? They jumped straight up out of the water. Looks like you're not quite safe yet. the ship! Make a break for it. Come on, you lubbers. Time to cut and run. Did you find Arrow? Thomas only nods grimly, looking back at the fort. Thomas scratches his chin, going over what Harrow said before he died. Wandsworth arrived shortly before someone came, destroyed Harrow's ship, and took Wandsworth by force. It's not confirmed how or why the infection started, but Thomas has a nasty theory. He and Wandsworth studied similarly blue corals long ago, but they locked it away when the experiments made it dangerous. Now it seems clear Wandsworth has been colonized by it, and it's using him to spread. A colonized vector is brain dead. They're still living bodies completely controlled by the coral's polyps. It doesn't know how to talk, yet by all accounts, Wandsworth was lucid and talking, so maybe he can still be cured. I don't pretend to understand half of what you've said about these colonists, but it sounds like we must find Wandsworth and stop it. However, before they can do anything, it's the Alchemist Guild's underwater flagship, the Rorqual. It's got your ship in a vice grip. For now, it seems you're trapped. Ahoy there! Now this is an understandable misunderstanding to be sure, but have you considered you got the wrong ship? Captain Perenelle Conroy. I believe you have Thomas Turlinger on board. He's wanted for illegal human experimentation. Turn him over, and you can be on your way. There you are. We turned a blind eye to your dangerous experiments for too long, Turlinger. Before Thomas can say anything, he spots a familiar face among the alchemists.
Welcome back, sir. Though it appears we've found ourselves in a bit of a pickle.
It's Wandsworth himself. So the Rorqual was at Fort Rasp. Thomas needs to get Wandsworth back. But how? He only has a moment to decide. Perhaps, if Thomas is fast enough, we can tip the odds with a single shot. Oops. Good thing Thomas isn't dueling in a western. Is that your answer? Very well. Attack! Thomas has to get to Wandsworth before it's too late. reinforcements from below decks are coming up to join the fight. Reinforcements? How many alchemists are hiding down there? More reinforcements! How many alchemists are hiding down there? How many alchemists are hiding down there? More reinforcements! How many alchemists are hiding down there? Thomas breathes a sigh of relief. Wandsworth is still alive.
Thank you for coming all this way, sir. But I'm afraid it's far too late for me.
Wandsworth pulls down his collar to reveal his neck. The coral infection has reached his spine. Wandsworth hands him a notebook.
I trust you'll be able to make sense of this. Now, if you'll indulge me in one final request, please allow me to die as Wandsworth, faithful servant of Thomas Turlinger.
Wandsworth deserves so much more. Ensuring he doesn't turn into a coral creature is the least Thomas can do.
It's been a privilege, sir.
Thomas can grieve later. They need to secure their escape first. That's the bridge of the Alchemist ship. Your scoundrel should be able to create an escape route with it. This is nothing like your ship. Your scoundrel needs more time to figure out the controls. Your scoundrel finds an operation manual and is now skimming through it. More reinforcements! How many alchemists are hiding down there? Your scoundrel discovers the controls for the ballast tanks. They just need a little more time. The pressure in a main valve overloads and... Well, you can see for yourself. The rockle is starting to sink. Get back to your ship. this opportunity to escape. This is it. You can leave the Rorqual behind now. Thomas looks at the Rorqual as it sinks, the crew scrambling back into the vessel. It pains him that he was unable to save Wandsworth. At least he was able to give his faithful manservant the ending he wanted. So, they managed to repair the Rorqual and make it to port. Hopefully that's the end of the Coral's plans for colonization. Wandsworth's notes reveal that the assassins who murdered the governor are the arms of the Kraken. Does the mastermind also worship the Kraken? Wait, there's more. According to this, the mastermind holds a grudge against the scoundrels. This confirms that the mastermind is someone from the scoundrels' past. Ship ahoy! Look to port! You can't see anyone on deck. At least no one living. What's going on? This doesn't seem like a coincidence. Better investigate and find out what's going on. Ship ahoy! Look to port! You can't see anyone on deck. At least no one living. What's going on? This doesn't seem like a coincidence. Better investigate and find out what's going on. Once on deck, you can see several strange round objects, which are suddenly revealed to be eggs as they hatch open. With their enemies defeated, the scoundrels take a moment to investigate the ship. These were just regular fisherfolk before they were murdered by their cargo. What are these weird eggs? And why are they transporting them? While you put the clues together, choose an upgrade for your scoundrels. You found more questions than answers. There's nothing more for you here. The scoundrels leave the ship floating dead in the water. The Smuggler's Cove is run by one man, Patrick Quick. Hammer says he'll know something. As the ship approaches Shadeport, memories of her last visit flood back to the Hammer. She tenses up. The others notice. She tries to distract herself by speaking with them. Upon learning the Hammer was an orphan, Thomas is curious about the life of a street urchin. What do they eat? Where do they sleep? How do they stay warm at night? The Hammer shakes her head at this barrage of ignorant questions. Of all the scoundrels, Nuna seems to understand most what it's like to have their childhood robbed from them. The Hammer is lucky, according to Nuna, to have gotten away from her adopted family while she was still young. So you was a red hat, eh? Don't look so surprised. How else would you know where to find Shadeport? I ain't judging ya. Question is, will they be happy to see you? The Hammer grimaces, confirming the smuggler's suspicions. As the cove of Shadeport comes into view, the Hammer clenches her fists. She'll get her answers, one punch at a time. Shadeport is a hidden harbour used by smugglers, pirates and criminals when they can't safely dock in Half Arch. Right now, you're in the same boat, so to speak. The Hammer's been here before, and she thinks it's the best place for leads on the whereabouts of her old boss, Patrick Quick. Hammer! It's Paca, a smuggler she knows from her gang days. You have to leave. They're here waiting for you. These are members of Patrick Quick's gang, the Red Hats. There she is, and she has friends. The gang members barely notice your ship. The Sawtooth fits right in here. A Red Hat sniper. But firearms are strictly controlled by the Alchemist's Guild. And why doesn't that rifle make any noise? New gunpowder? Kraken's blood! Paca, distraught over her friend's death, asking for her help will probably require some convincing. Your scoundrel should be able to push this crate, providing cover as you get closer to the sniper. Still a ways to go, but the crate is holding up as cover. Push forward from behind cover. Getting closer. Push forward from behind cover. There are plenty more red hats where those came from. Better get out of here. There are too many red hats here for you to beat them all. Time to come up with an escape plan. Push forward from behind cover. Getting closer. Push forward from behind cover. Getting closer. Getting closer. Push forward from behind cover. Push forward from behind cover. Getting closer. Push forward from behind cover. Getting closer. What I'm trying to tell you is that the red hats are going to keep coming. Find a way out of here before they wear you down. There are plenty more red hats where those came from. Better get out of here. Getting closer. Push forward from behind cover. Getting closer. Push forward from behind cover. Getting closer. It's a tough but short climb up to the sniper. A nimble scoundrel could sneak up behind them and take them out. They make climbing look so easy in those other games, don't they? Better try again. It's a tough but short climb up to the sniper. A nimble scoundrel could sneak up behind them and take them out. Sniper doesn't notice your scoundrel until it's too late. With the sniper gone, maybe you can convince Packer to smuggle you onto Ruby Island, where Quick's Lieutenant Weevil is in prison. He's sure to know something. There are plenty more red hats where those came from. Better get out of here. Is still shocked from her friend's death. Your scoundrel will have to snap her out of it before she'll take you out to the island. Packer shakes her head, but looks a little less frightened. Keep trying. Your scoundrel mentions getting revenge against Quick. Ha! That does the trick. Packer steels herself and nods. We'll take the skiff. Follow me. All aboard! Everyone, keep your hands inside the skiff. The water's gonna get hot where we're going. Off to the Ruby prison. Time to find out what Weevil knows. Steam rises its waters, boiled by the island's volcano, fencing in the prisoners better than any wall. The only safe place to land is this dock, protected by the imposing guard tower. The guards clearly know Packer well and quickly agree to her request. Packer waits outside with her skiff, and the scoundrels enter the workyard. Visitors, what a surprise. The Hammer instantly recognizes Weevil from her days working for the gang, and he recognizes her too. Thanks for coming all this way, Hammer, just to see little old me. We was told you might pop by. I'm a little busy for a chat, but me crew here will sort you out. Permanently. Oh, looks like this was a trap. You'll have to get past these goons if you want to find out what Weevil knows. Good thugs these days. You lot, protect me. Weevil flees to another group of prisoners. These days, eh, Hammer? I'm impressed, but these crims have been doing hard labour for years, and you won't crack 'em. Get 'em, gang. the guards have had enough of this riot. It's too bad they're not on your side. No, those useless dogs were my mates. Why did you have to kill them all? Weevil's rattled now. He runs to higher ground, but really he's trapped himself with nowhere to go. Suspected for the murder of government officials, more of them ending up dead around you will look pretty bad. If words fail, perhaps the fist will help. The hammer knows how to make a coward like Weevil talk. If he lives.
Stop! No more! Quick made a deal for silent gunpowder with Rogue Alchemist. They're meeting on the diamond.
Whoops. Let's hope that's enough clues to go on. Hey! Hammer killed Mr. Weevil. Nobody kills Mr. Weevil but us. Fight your way back to the docks and get to the diamond and find out what Quick knows about the scheme to frame you. Well, there's no one left to stop you from leaving. Time to go. It's gone real quiet in the... Is that blood? Never mind, I don't want to know. Just tell me where you want to go and I'll get you there fast. Despite its brilliant white sand, the diamond is an ironic name. It's a tiny, worthless island. No one has any reason to come here, which makes it perfect for those looking to make shady deals. Light a signal when you're done, says Packer. Thanks to Weevil, the scoundrels got here before Quick, allowing them to find a hiding spot. The one with the especially tall red hat is Patrick Quick. He'll have answers, according to the hammer. They're discussing the silent gunpowder deal. Most of the goods must still be on board the Alchemist's ship. Once they know you're here, the advantage is lost. So make the most of the opportunity by choosing a scoundrel to distract them. scoundrel gets their attention, but not quite all of it. The assembled criminals spot the rest of the scoundrels. Why? If it isn't Hammer. Found some new friends, have you? Well, we'll kill them too. Remember why you came here. You need to find out who's behind all this. No point trying to be careful now. Your scoundrel can climb up here if they wish. Looking ship, and an even more intriguing looking cannon. Silent gunpowder on the other ship. Quick's cannon could blow the whole lot to smithereens. But you have to prepare it first. Just the fuse left. If only these alchemists put their energy into fireworks instead of weaponry. With the last goon down, the hammer revives Quick and throws him onto the white sand.
You win, Hammer. I'll talk. I don't know who's behind all this, but I do know who they're working with.
Aside from the masked assassins, there's a bunch of regular fisherfolk involved. They're being played as much as you are, but to what end, I have no idea. I just know it's for something big. Before the scoundrels can process Quick's information, Anguilla pulls up at Diamond Island with Packer on board. Seems Quick won't be needing his ship anymore, would he? As the others board the ship, the hammer glares at Quick. It's time to decide his fate. Does she leave Quick on Diamond Island, parched and alone? Well, if that's all, I'll be going now. Good luck.
Wait, what are you doing? You can't leave me here, Hammer. Come back. You won't get away with this, Hammer.
The hammer doesn't say anything as the diamond disappears over the horizon. Perhaps she can finally close the book on her troubled past. Once they figure out who the mastermind is, I mean. Does this mean the end of the Red Hats? Their scheme on the diamond didn't go unnoticed. Hopefully no one picks up on the scoundrel's involvement. According to Patrick Quick, innocent fisherfolk are being conned into working for the mastermind. But to what end? Your scoundrels don't get much time to ponder their next move.
Look lively! Ship ahead!
Less than a mile ahead is a vessel you never imagined you'd see again. Captain Frost's old ship sunk 7 years ago, just like its captain.